there. I
like the
think
Hedera logo in the back.
there's a. Oh yeah, I know. I have to.
Can you see the Hedera logo here on the hat?
Oh yeah.
Nice, nice.
I need to get me one of those.
This is one of 100.
Okay, and let me. It's okay. Yeah, okay, there we go. What is up, everyone? This is Safe Investor AG, H% Saucy Warrior. This video is not financial advice. This video is made for entertainment purposes only. Please invest your own money at your own risk. And we have here Andy Kulikian. Did I say it right?
You said it right.
Yeah?
Great to be here. Yeah.
Nice. So, CEO and founder of Citadel Wallet. So I was I was reading the white paper, and I'm really hyped. I'm a big anime freak and kind of like this fantasy adventureland fan, and it's amazing. You got an amazing project. So I don't know if can you give us a little background of yourself, Andy? What got you into this project, and how'd you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's a lot going on with the project. I can tell you a little bit about myself, then we can dive into what I've been building with Citadel Wallet and the white paper. You mentioned the white paper. There's a lot going on there too. Definitely, we can dive into those as well. I'm an engineer. My background is in electrical engineering, and my kind of a day job for now is engineering, developing systems for DoD type applications. But last few years, I was just really fascinated with crypto industry. This new technology seemed really interesting to me, and the amount of disruption that they can cause in financial industries, and not just financial, everything else too. Literally, it can affect all the industries, all the verticals, especially technology as advanced as Hedera network with the hashgraph technology at the core of this network. It's able to scale to millions of transactions per second, eventually with sharding. Today, we're seeing around 1,000 transactions per second on the network,
Yeah.
stable, and it's handling those transactions seamlessly, and it's able to scale 10 times, 100 times from that as well. So really fascinating technology. I did a lot of research into it. I looked into people involved with the project, the governance council that's been developing and evolving over time. I'm just such a huge fan of the project, and over time, being an engineer and having kind of a creative mind, I was always thinking of building something myself, some kind of a product. It could be a software solution or a hardware solution. And I have a lot of different ideas in the future as well. But for now,
Wow.
I want to focus on building a hardware wallet. Something I have a lot of experience in building electronic
Okay.
devices, and much more complex than what this hardware wallet is. But it's a new product for me as well, because it's a new industry, new kinds of approach to developing this kinds of wallet products. So even though I had a lot of experience building electronic systems, I had to do a lot of research, understanding the cryptographic side of things, of
Okay.
crypto networks and accounts, and how you sign transactions and all, and how you create accounts and all of those things. So, and that's where I ended up. But community knows me as HBAR to the moon. That's how I started from the community side, just promoting the network. I saw the potential, and I'm still a huge fan of the network, and a huge supporting community member first and foremost. But things are going to change pretty quickly as the Citadel Wallet project is starting to take off, and we've been making a lot of great progress in the developments of the product. And also, I'm really excited about the uh, NFT and gaming side of things, that I have a lot of plans in the
Me
future as
too.
well. So, like I said, there's a lot of things going on, and I'm happy to answer all the questions that you have related to the wallet and the NFT project.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very excited. We before we get to the gaming portion, because I have a ton of questions. I have too many questions about that side to the point where I think I'm just gonna ask a broad question and just let you take it away,
Yeah.
because that sounds very exciting. So this is more of a general question I'd like to ask you. The Donnie H. Azoff wanted me to ask, and I know there's a partnership already, but it's more of it would give us the type of information of the caliber of the team that it's backing you up. So how is Citadel Wallet and Head Started connected?
Yeah, collaboration with Headstarter is a strategic partnership. It's not just a collaboration for the sake of announcing something to get the project hyped. This is a completely different type of collaboration where the software development team of Headstarters, which is also known as Builder Labs, they're from Romania. The software team is great. They're very knowledgeable. As many of the community members might know, they have built the Head Starters Launchpad, IDO, and INO Launchpad. Initially, they started with IDO, but then NFT started to become more popular, so they added support for NFT offerings as well, eventually. Um, but their knowledge and expertise is invaluable for the project that I am building. I was looking for people, software developers from the community when I started building the hardware wallet. And initially, I did a lot of the development myself and testing out the hardware, building the electronic boards. But when it got to the point where I needed to start deploying the firmware to interact with the Hedera network, that's something that I don't have too much background and expertise on, even though
Okay.
high level I have a great understanding of how their network works. I was looking for a team that is very knowledgeable about Hedera. They understand the SDKs, the technology, how to use the network's services, all network services, and have built applications. So that side of the understanding was very important to bring on software developers. And the other side was to find someone who has understanding of developing embedded type applications. Uh, Developing a software for a hardware wallet like Citadel Wallet is very different than developing a web application using Java, JavaScript, and other very popular programming languages. It requires a lower level programming experience and understanding kind of the connection between hardware and software. It's a very low level programming that luckily one of the team members of Builder Labs, Victor, had great experience developing those kinds of applications as well, and he had been doing kind of on the side. It was kind of his hobby, developing those kinds of applications on microprocessors as well. So it was a great collaboration. It seemed like it's the perfect match to collaborate together. And at the same time, I was just really thankful that the way I knew the team, first and foremost, to go a little back. Tudor was kind enough to reach out to me when he was starting Headstarter, to reach out to me and ask me to join their team to help build the project and promote it, and reach out to a lot of projects in the community, which, being in the community myself, I knew almost all of the projects that were publicly known, and I had some level of interaction with them. And Tudor wanted to bring me on board to help reach out to the projects, because for a launchpad like Headstarter, you need to have project launching their tokens on your platform. And that's how the relationship kind of formed over time. And then I got really busy with building the Citadel wallet and getting more acquainted with the team, kind of becoming friends over time, and spending more times doing meetings and calls and learning more about each other's backgrounds and experiences. I realized that Headstarter's team could be an amazing team to work with to build this hardware wallets software side of things. So that's how the whole thing started. I reached out to Tutor, talked to him about the plans I have for the wallet. He was very excited. The team was very excited, and they decided to jump on board, help me with this development. It's a risk on their side too, because it's a new project, it's a new idea.
Right.
It's not easy to build a hardware wallet. There's a lot of different moving pieces that need to come together for this product to go to market. And them knowing me and I knowing their expertise, it just seemed like the perfect match to trust. First of all, trust each other and jump into this together. Yeah. So the collaboration is more of a strategic collaboration where they even own part of the Citadel Wallet LLC. So it's not just a one and done thing. This is a long-term collaboration, and they're going to help with software development of not only the Citadel Wallet, but other products in the future that I cannot talk about yet.
I see. Oh, dang it. I guess we'll have to wait then, huh? Okay.
One other thing on the software side of things that I'd like to mention is I've been also working with a security consultant. So it's great to have people who have experience with Hedera network developing and also developing those kinds of embedded applications. But for an application and a product like Citadel Wallet, I take security very seriously, and I had to make sure that I bring on board also someone who has a lot of experience in terms of security. And this person that I found, a consultant, has a lot of experience developing banking secure systems, applications for smart cards, which are the credit cards, banking cards that people are using on a daily basis. He has a lot of experience programming those kinds of cards, and also making sure that the communication with the banking systems back and forth, the cryptographic communication is all secure at the highest standard, banking industry standard possible. So we have him on board as well. He's been supporting on developing kind of the secure architecture, communication with the secure element, which is the most important component in the hardware wallet. Make sure that keys are secure, that they can never leave the secure element when they're generated. So people have the peace of mind. Nobody can steal their keys.
Nice. I'm glad that we won't expect nothing less, 'cause you sound like a very determined and committed gentleman. Really appreciate that. I think that's probably the general public would it would be a concern. Security, to me, is at least one of the major concerns, which is why I keep, when I would shill Hedera and HBAR, that would be one of the main components that I would shill is security. And I'm so glad you're focused.
That's your main focus. We do spend a lot of time also just informing the community about the security, because a lot of times people care about the security, but very quickly they start ignoring it. A great example is a person who uses a software wallet. When they start off with the software wallet, they hear about all this security issues. If you don't protect your keys, the money phrase, if you lose it, you're gonna lose everything you have in your wallet. But so when they're starting out, they're very paranoid. They're careful every time they open the wallet. They're careful, maybe try to stay offline as much as possible on the computer. Over time, that feeling goes away. It's just a human nature, right? Over time, all of a sudden, you see people are holding tens of thousands of dollars in a software wallet, which is crazy to me. So the security is important to people, but convenience is much more important, it seems like. So over time, the scale kind of tilts towards the convenience, and you forget about the security, and one day your account is empty.
That's true.
You wake up to an empty account. So I want to make sure that not only we make sure our hardware wallet is very secure, but we provide as much information to the community as possible. So we just recently started the Medium blog post on
Okay.
all things Citadel Wallet and the NFT project that we're building. And we have already two-part security-related blogs posted there. One of them is about going into details of all kinds of different attacks possible on hardware wallets. Uh, can be software attacks or physical attacks when the hacker has the wallet in their hand physically. And then the part two of the Medium post goes into the details of Citadel Wallet security architecture specifically. What kind of parts we have, what kind of design considerations we have to make sure that what we talked about in part one in terms of security risks, we address all of those risks with our architecture and our the hardware wallet.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for focusing on security. So, which leads to my next question. Now, I would love to have this wallet as a one to be where I can hold all my gems in the Hedera ecosystem. So, will this hardware wallet eventually be able to store all the Hedera project tokens, utility tokens, such as Jam, Dovu? Would it eventually be able to hold them?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And not eventually, but from day one, it will be able to hold all of those tokens.
Really?
And that, yeah, from day one, once we go to market, actually, when we did the pre-orders through the Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the
I do the
Citadel.
same mistake, dude. It's funny.
That's fine. Because the movie just came out and I watched it the other day.
Yeah.
So in my mind. But we did the
Citadel.
pre-orders of the wallets through Guardians of the Citadel Knights. At that time, we already had some demos I had posted on YouTube where we pair the hardware wallet with Hashpack, and Hashpack is another great partner, ecosystem partner of ours. We pair with Hashpack and we actually sign not only HBAR transfers, but also associating token IDs for tokens and NFTs, and sending tokens and NFTs, and even native
Wow.
staking. So 2 months ago, we already had those features implemented, and we're gonna add more services. By the time we go to market, all of your gems are going to be supported.
Perfect.
All your NFTs, smart contracts, scheduled transactions. If you're using Hashpack, secure trade is one of the great features of Hashpack, where you can peer-to-peer trade with other community members, having trust that you're not going to be scammed. Now, secure
Okay.
trade works on using scheduled transactions. It's a great service on their network, kind of overlooked, but I'm hoping more applications will use that service. And we are going to support scheduled transactions as well, so people can now secure trade with peers using the hardware wallet and bring even more security to their assets.
That's crazy. Dang, that's
Yeah.
cool. So secure
So
trading with the
the
hardware
goal
wallet.
is the goal is to support all Hedera services. Everything that's on the network, you should be able to interact with the network using this hardware wallet and
Nice.
sign those transactions.
Which leads to the next question. Now, do you plan to ever expand to other ecosystem if to hold jams such as I don't know Poker Bridge or Altura? I don't know. Do you ever plan to expand
Mhm.
to other ecosystems?
Yeah, there is plans in the future to support other networks too. My main goal right now is to have full support for Hedera, and
Of
I have
course.
mentioned this few other times too that for kind of limited power devices like hardware wallets, because it's a very simple device in terms of performance. It just the microprocessor and the secure element, very low power, low performance. It cannot do crazy high computational things, and and that's the reason why so many of the hardware wallets in the industry, they're supporting multi-chain networks, but very limited some services on each network. Otherwise, there wouldn't be enough
Oh,
space on the wallet to support Ethereum fully, Bitcoin fully. Now, Bitcoin has the ordinals, the NFTs on Bitcoin. That's additional services on Bitcoin. And then you have Solana and other networks, which have so many other services outside of just their native token, native cryptocurrency transfers, right? So having a hardware wallet, in my opinion, that only supports the native crypto transfer is not really that beneficial. And with this hardware wallet, I do want to change how people think about hardware wallets as well. Until this point, since there were not many use cases and utilities of these crypto networks, the only focus was just buy and hold, okay, or
yeah,
maybe transfer the coin. That's the only thing that people cared about. And it seems like the kind of shilling nature of the crypto ecosystems. They just want their coins to be bought and held, so the
yeah,
prices go up over time.
yeah,
Which is,
yep.
yeah, which is, yeah,
You hit the nail
yeah.
on the head right there, man. That's
Just
me.
saying the truth.
Yep.
But with a network like Hedera, when you can have native tokens and you can directly interact with applications, whether it's gaming application, music platform, mobile application like Karate Combat, they just came out with their own token. But when you need to interact with these applications on a daily basis in a secure way, then there is a need to use this hardware wallet in more ways. And if it's just supporting token transfer, it doesn't support anything else, you're kind of limiting the potential of this wallet, of this
Oh,
new types of devices. So to kind of make it short,
I see.
my goal is to support Hedera fully, all the services, and some new services that some of the enterprise use cases might utilize. There's multi-sig features. There's all decentralized identity. There's all kinds of different things that the enterprise is interested in, even real-world asset tokenization. I do want to support those kinds of services as well on the wallet, so it becomes a tool for enterprises as well in the near future.
Okay.
Yeah, and then once we complete that development and see what our strategy needs to be. Do we come up with an additional family of wallets that is multi-chain but supports a limited coins on that wallet, and we have a specific one for Hedera which supports Hedera fully? That will come later. We're kind of thinking between different scenarios, but I would not want to limit to just Hedera, but I also don't want to just support other networks just for the sake of supporting other networks. If I don't see
Right.
the potential in those networks, and if you follow me on Twitter, I'm a huge Hedera fan, so I pinpoint a lot of the issues on other networks. So I'm not a big fan of a lot of other layer one networks. But
Okay.
there is also the aspect of our NFT project, which gives voting powers to holders of the NFT. So if the community wants to add specific networks, then the community will be able to vote on those kinds of decisions.
Oh, that's true. Well,
Yeah,
now that you mentioned that, which, we can go to the next topic. My favorite. I've been looking forward to ask about this. Oh, okay. So before we move past the hardware wallet size, honest side. So honestly, I was planning to use. Man, I'll let you know how many nights I bought. I'm sure you already know. I bought a couple. So I'm gonna get multiple wallets. I want to have one wallet where I store all my jams and lock that thing up in a safe, and that's gonna be my kids' like investment in the future 10, 20 years. I'm going to open that, and
yeah,
then another wallet, it's what I'm going to utilize, like you've been saying, for what's coming next. Having that said, I know I'm creating my own utility, my own physical utility for your
I
wallets.
completely agree with that. I would actually recommend that to everyone. Just have two wallets. Use one for everyday transactions and interacting with the network, and the other one if you're going to store a lot of assets in there for long term. Just store in that one and keep it somewhere safe, and I have two of them. So
Exactly.
that's a good approach.
I was gonna one was gonna be my set it and forget it wallet, but I as one of my followers said, but just not be a set it and forget my wallet where I put it. So I won't I won't forget where I put it.
Yeah, don't forget where you put it. That's for sure.
So, which leads to my next question. Now, these knights, bro, they're so legit. They look so cool. I don't know why. I'm gonna ask you what inspired you, but okay. Someone wanted to. I'm gonna go over the perks that right now there are four knights: fire, ice, nature, and the golden knight.
Mm-hmm.
So, and their perks. So, I'm going to read a little bit from the white paper what their perks are. Now, it says that community perks, giveaways, airdrops, voting powers, which you just mentioned, lottery, access to partner projects, access to five, game five, and then the Citadel Wallet utilities. Claim 1 to 3 free Citadel wallets, wallet discounted prices with Night, future product accessory discount, early access to future products, and percentage of Citadel wallet profits. One of my followers, one of the jammers, want to know that, the very last one. So, how will the revenue sharing work and when would it begin?
Yeah. I think that's the one that most people are interested in, the revenue sharing part of it. And I'm really excited about that part as well. Why not take some of the profits from wallet sales and share it with the community that has
Boom!
been there right from the beginning, right?
I'm men of the people right
I'm
there.
100% for it, and I've been thinking about this for a long time before making the white paper, and it has to happen. There's no way it doesn't happen. It's just figuring out the regulatory aspects of things. Like you know how
Uh,
crazy things in US are
okay,
in terms of
I see.
regulations. We need to be very careful. If you're sharing the revenue based on holding an NFT, then it could be considered as a security. But if you are
Mm.
doing something to earn that revenue, that's a different scenario. If you're doing something in the community to earn it. That's a so there is different ways to look at it. I've been doing a lot of research in the legal side of things. There's other approaches to, but I don't want to talk about those too much because it will reveal things I don't want to
Right. If yeah,
share
I
with.
was gonna say that if you cannot expound too much on it, it's don't then. If you
Yeah. But it's
okay,
coming one way or another. It's coming. There is no way that doesn't happen. Now, when that happens, it happens when we start selling the wallets. Obviously, the initial pre-orders um, is not going to count. The ones pre-ordered, those will be delivered to the community, and community has gotten discounts for being early supporters of the projects, and people who even went beyond and ordered all the three nights, they got the golden night for free, which also brings more revenue sharing and more voting rights and more lottery rights, etc., etc. So early supporters who pre-ordered the wallets and even more wallets, those wallets will be delivered. And for those who don't want to get 10 hardware wallets, they will be provided an option of claiming NFT version of the hardware wallet so they can sell it on a secondary market, maybe for a 5% discounted price. And people can buy that NFT, go on a website, and claim it at a discounted price rather than
oh,
buying directly from the website. Yeah.
wow, that's
And
cool.
after that, so once those pre-ordered wallets are all delivered, everything else that is ordered from the website will be considered. Part will go, those sales, part of it will go to NFT holders. The percentage,
Wow.
initially the percentage will be higher. That much I can tell until we pick up in sales. Then we'll have to do some calculations based on how large the community is, how much sales we're doing. There's a lot of things that we can worry about later. But initially, I do want to keep that percentage higher, so people are more incentivized to support the project, promote it, and as the sales grow over time, even if the percentage goes down slightly, but you have more sales, overall value that is brought to the community will continue to increase. And I'm really excited about the nature, about the night collection just in general, because there is so many things we can do with this collection. And when I was starting to, when I was coming up with the ideas for this collection, I was like, I have to get it right from the beginning, because
Yeah.
if the quality of the characters is not at the level I want it to be, as the project picks up, then you have to change the character look. Then you got to come up with Gen 2, Gen 3, and then people will be disappointed because they bought the Gen 1 and then the Gen 2, and now you're like, oh, I don't like
Right.
those characters. I'm going to create brand new characters.
Right.
I wanted to get it right from the beginning, so the whole 10K collection, which is going to drop over time, maybe it will take years to drop.
Right.
The
Right.
whole 10K collection. I wanted all of them to look similar, not change the character look, and just change the themes and the weapons and all of those different attributes. There's so many creative ways we can present new characters to the community.
Okay.
But
No, that
also,
makes sense.
if you want these characters to be in games in the future, you have to have a AAA quality for these characters. You can't go to a gaming company and say, hey, and in the future, a lot of this, so there's going to be Web3 native games that are open platforms for others to bring in their characters and partner with them. And there's already a community that has formed behind those characters and those projects. Why not bring those characters into the game so people can be incentivized to be part of that game as well? So it's a mutual collaboration.
Which brings me to the next question. It segues perfectly right to it.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna ask you the question, but then I want to read the story from your white paper because I think it is an awesome story of the Knights of Citadel.
Yeah.
How will the Knight be implemented in video games? Now, I want to read the story. I don't know if you were the one that came up with the story or one of your admins, but honestly, it sounds just insanely legit. It sounds yeah. So let me read it to you. The Guardians of the Citadel were a group of fierce knights sworn to protect the fortress and its residents from any and all threats. The Citadel was a place where magic and power and housed a hardware device that was said to have unlimited strength and the ability to secure and protect anyone who held the device in their hands. That just sounds so cool. Was that you?
Yeah, I came up with the high level idea, but I didn't. I don't have those kinds of skills to write in that way. But yeah,
that's so cool.
The overall concept was mine. Yeah.
So
I just love those kinds of stories, right? I'm a movie nerd. I have watched all the Lord of the Rings movies, all of the Star. I have watched all of the movies. Like you have Star Wars in the back.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I always try to give like a background, an origin to the characters that you create. A character that it looks amazing but doesn't have a backstory and it doesn't have a character. That's the right word. Then people cannot connect with it, cannot relate to it. I do want to make sure that not only these characters look amazing, but people can somehow associate with them and understand the meaning of them and how it's connected to this bigger world that we're trying to build.
Now, I'm glad you're adding character to each night. Oh, dang it. Hold on, that. Hedera logo. Dang it. There. Okay, we got the logo up. So, I'm glad you're adding character to this because, okay, you have 4 nights so far. I'm saying so far because in your white paper, when I was reading up
on the fifth one just dropped, by the way.
The what?
Fifth night. I'm not sure if you saw the 5th night.
The
The
Ocean Knight.
Ocean Knight. Yeah,
Yeah,
the first one just dropped.
I'm trying to get my hands on that with one of your followers, and he's playing a hard bargain. My wife is telling me to hold back a bit, but she does not understand the life of a nerd, man. She doesn't get it.
Those will go on secondary marketplace next week, so maybe you can wait a week.
I know, right? Okay, okay. Okay, so look, the Ice Knight. So I was reading the perks, but then right below on the white paper, this is page 9 for anyone who wants to find out and read for themselves. It says future knight characters will become more rare over time and harder to mint during each drop. Example: a future knight themes include a water knight, gravity knight, storm knight, lightning knight, and more. Holy crap, bro! That's something right there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you ever
There will
plan?
be ones with animals too.
Nice.
Just saying.
This this is so cool, man. This is really cool. So,
These are going to be outside of just everything else that we're doing. I want these characters to be just amazing collectibles. Like people love the characters and they're looking forward to the next character that's going to come out, rather than dropping the whole collection at once and not building that momentum and
I
like
see.
the mystery of what's to come in the future. I really like the approach of moving slowly, similar to what Marvel or Disney are doing, just dropping movies, introducing two characters, and then developing their stories, and then eventually everything comes together into this
Man,
DC or Marvel universe, right? I mean, I'm not at that level. I'm just saying
no, look, but
that,
you're
that,
the
that
first. You're the
yeah,
first in
that's the
Hedera.
mentality
Honestly,
you should have. Yeah, that's the mentality you should have to
you're
build
the
something
first one.
special.
So like you caught my attention. So the minute I was reading up on the white paper, listeners, I invite you all to read through the entire white paper. Read all of it because it isn't just a deep nerdy dive on and you read a bunch of informative mumbo jumbo. This is like a fantasy fairy tale nerd story for the geeks who are just dying for adventurous tales. This is so cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Thanks.
It's really cool.
Thanks for the
Which
support.
leads
Yeah.
leads to my next question. Are you guys gonna come up with a game eventually for the night?
Um, I, for now, my goal is not to build a game itself, because building a game is a completely different animal. It's
That
something
would be
that
okay.
is outside of my expertise, and I can't imagine right now building a game, and I can't
Okay.
pretend to say, oh, I'm going to build a game in the future. But I definitely have these characters. When we designed these characters with AAA gaming character developers, these people have developed these characters ready to be used in the games. So the quality, all the details that they have paid attention to, the work they do on developing actual characters for games, they have put in the exact work into developing these characters. So when the IP grows, when the project grows, and it becomes popular and has a strong community, we can easily approach Web2 or Web3 gaming companies and say, hey, we would love to add these characters into League of Legends and or other similar theme kind of
Or
games that these knights
PUBG.
will merge well into,
Yeah.
or have these as different skins in all kinds of different games. And I think that's where the future is headed. Games are going to kind of open up and become more like gaming
Yes.
platforms rather than closed games. And there's going to be a lot of assets that people, in form of NFTs, that people actually own and trade. And games would love to have more users, right? And if bringing these characters into the game actually brings more users to the game, they will sign up for that right away. Obviously, there will be some licensing or some legal stuff that this we need to go through with these companies, but I think
Yeah, I
that's where
bet.
the future is headed. And being ready, planning for that from this early on, with these amazing characters, and right now being focused on building this community, uh, being a passionate supporter of the community, seeing the value of these characters, and continually collecting and growing the community. I think we should have no issues reaching out to some really good gaming companies, and some there's one in Hedras Console. We could reach out to them and see if they would be interested in something
And
in collaborating. Yeah,
I see this, going on like Fortnite, PUBG,
could be a
you
great
know.
Fortnite skin.
Exactly. Like holy
Yeah,
smoke, they're so cool looking. So or or even a comic book, like it looks cool. So okay, now I'm gonna ask you one of my last questions. So I like to collect. Would you ever? Please consider this. I know you probably haven't, or maybe you won't. Would you ever make action figures out of these knights?
hell yes.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Bro, they're so cool.
Imagine one of those sitting on your desk.
Yeah,
Have
exact.
you
I
seen those hot toys?
I
Have
would
you seen the
totally
hot
do
toys?
that. Yeah,
The quality of those toys, like they have Marvel characters, they have DC characters, like superhero characters. They look like so realistic. These guys are doing such an amazing job of building this collectible characters and toys. I think action figures, yeah. uh, I would definitely love to have one of those knights sitting on my desk. So I'm definitely
exactly.
going to look
It'll
into
go
that. But
right here, right here.
yeah, yeah.
Just looking at the NFT, it rotates and then it's coming to life. I want one, and I want one to even put it in my safe with the hardware wallet.
So not only I've been thinking about that, but I was also thinking to have an NFC tag attached to that action figure so you can prove ownership. Because I'm not going to make too many of those,
Oh,
right? Those are going to be limited editions. So you want to
yeah,
make sure that you can prove that you actually own this action figure, and there's, let's say, 100 nature knights out there at action figures. So those will probably also increase in value over time as the project becomes more successful.
man, you're a
Yeah,
genius.
like I've been saying, there's so many things I've been thinking about. There's a lot of different moving parts, and it's funny that we're combining kind of a boring electronic device with this world of characters and NFTs and game gaming aspects to it and
Exactly.
collectible aspect to it. And I think this is going to be our what we're doing is going to serve as a great example to a lot of other new products and new companies that are having hard time to break into the market and promote and market their product to the consumers. This is a great way to engage the community, reward the community, give something back to the community, and also community will give back to the project as well by talking about it, promoting it, collecting the items that you're creating for the project. So all of a sudden, you're not just building a boring electronic device. As important as it might be, it becomes something else. It becomes a fashion statement. It becomes a personal device. It
Yeah.
becomes much more than just a processor.
Like I can see this being the action figure being the private key of one of the hardware wallets. Ah, dude, that'd be so cool. That imagine just
Can do so many things.
my son asking, "Hey man, I'm going to my friend's house to play video games." Okay, you got your Citadel wallet with you? Yeah, I got my Citadel wallet. All right, have fun. He's taking all these characters to game night with his buddies. Hey,
I've been seeing a lot of toys that they even before this whole crypto thing. I actually had an idea of creating toys that had NFC tags on the bottom of them, so you can interact with the game.
oh
You can
shoot,
scan the toy, and then the game recognizes that you actually have this character. You have purchased this character, but that was more of a centralized thing at the time. when I was kind of having these ideas. Now it's all decentralized. The ownership is on the network. You buy the toy, it has the NFC tag underneath, and you can, if there's a game, you just go scan it. There's an NFC reader, and they recognize that you actually own this toy, the action figure, and it gives you that character in the game to start, and you're able to play with that character. And
Dang.
there's just so, yeah, this is something that I've been thinking about even before this whole crypto things, and crypto actually makes it more valuable because now you actually own it. Um, Disney was doing things like that with action figures with NFC tags, but it's all in their centralized system, in their centralized server. They manage all that data, right? You don't actually really own it because next day that game goes away, that ownership goes away with it. You can't really do anything with that character. Now all those characters and ownerships minted on the public network, even if that game goes away, you still can trade it. It becomes a collectible. Maybe other games in the future support those characters. So things become more liquid and floating rather than enclosed and centralized.
Man, you have a vision, and you got my vote. You got my vote. I cannot wait until the hardware wallets come out. Honestly,
Me neither, man. By the way, I gotta show you a couple of them.
whoo!
Here they are. See how sleek they are? Look at this.
Wow, they look amazing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for two more colors to arrive. We're gonna have three colors initially. This is kind
They're
of a
so
darker
beautiful.
gray. Darker gray. Here's the this is the USB Type C connector, display, two buttons. Yeah, this is the final looking wallet. Close to final.
So that's the final
Uh,
model.
yeah, yeah.
It looks
And we'll
beautiful.
have two more colors for people who prefer different. We'll have blue and kind of pinkish if women are interested to get into Web3 and get wallets for themselves as well. We'll have different options, color options.
Can't wait. Um, and Andy, really, I really appreciate you taking your time. The life of a CEO, I know, is just engrossed with appointments and the things they need to do in their to-do list. And I really appreciate you taking the time to let me interview you and just have a chat about your project because I believe you're gonna tap into the gaming sector and there's a huge crowd and I think there's good CEOs and then the ones like you that will give people what they want and it sounds like you're listening and trying to see what the people want and you're that type of CEO that will give people what they want and I'm glad man I actually bought two ice and two fire knights
Nice.
and I'm trying to buy more. So I'm
Thanks for
when
the support, man. By the way, thanks for the support from the community side. You've done a lot for the project. You interviewed Ken, and Ken. Actually, was that the first time you heard about the project? And did he introduce you to the
he
Citadel
did,
Wallet project?
he's
Yeah.
the one that told me about it.
Shout out to Ken too. Yeah,
No,
he's an amazing, yeah, amazing
he's
guy.
so knowledgeable. He told me about it, and because I gave him a small idea, and he's like, hey, you might want to look into them, and then I'm like, wow, this is amazing, and so no,
Yeah, thanks for
but
the
yeah,
support. I really appreciate it. Thanks for inviting to your show. I'm always happy to go on shows like this, podcast shows, YouTube shows, and just update the community on everything that's been going on in the background. Like you said, I've been crazy busy, just nuts. I have the full-time job. I've been building this. I'm I always try to stay active on on Twitter as well as a community member. I don't want to let that go ever because that's what has brought me to this point, and I cannot forget that. It's not a good excuse to say, "Hey, now I'm building a project. I'm gonna ignore the community side of things." Then it's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be real.
I
And I
appreciate
love
that.
doing it. I really love being part of the community, being active, spreading the word about everything that's going on in their ecosystem. And there's so many amazing things happening. This
Yep.
network is about to blow up. I mean, talk
Yes.
about networks with unlimited potential. This is it. Hedera is it. There is no other like Hedera. People who I don't want to say negative things about other networks, but just look into Hedera. If you have seen it and you think it's just another blockchain network like other networks, just be in the community, do a little bit of digging and researching. And everybody who I know has done a little bit of a research. They have been just mind blown and sticked around for a long time. And that's what really takes it. Don't listen to what anybody's saying. Go read the white papers and watch Lehman Baird's videos, lectures. Um, there is no more convincing needed
Yep.
after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very true. Hey, thank you so much. And is it cool if I talk with you for just 5 minutes just to chat it up after? So thank you
Sure.
guys. This is Andy. Andy hold on.
Good again.
Kilik Kulikian.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yeah,
Kulikian.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
CEO, founder of Citadel Wallet, which provides hardware wallet services and futuristic NFT gaming, revolutionizing tech. Like this thing is gonna take over and it'll take off. Thank you so much,
We're
Andy.
getting there. Yeah. No, it was amazing too. Thanks for inviting, and I had a blast doing this interview. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, let me